Hey, what's up, guys? So, the main purpose of this video is to go through a list of the basic things for a starter into voice acting. In my case, specifically commercial voice acting, because that's my specialty. I've not done any animation or video games yet, so unfortunately, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I live in Oklahoma, which, if you didn't know, is the middle of nowhere in the Midwest. So there aren't really any anime studios anywhere nearby. So anyways, I kind of wanted to go over a list of, probably like, 3 or 4 important things to remember in voiceover and to learn from the start. I think number one, and this is the biggest thing, and I'm an advocate for this being the biggest thing. You want to get coaching. Number one is get coaching. You want to go into voice acting. You want to be successful. You want to learn. You want to learn. The tricks of the trade and everything. These well-established, reputable members of the voice acting community can help you with that. That's why they're coaches. So, and you can find lots of resources online. You can do cursory Google searches to find coaches. Voices.com, which is the pay-to-play platform I'll talk a little bit about soon, that they have a list of coaches on their webpage. So you can scroll down the list and you can view, different coaches and what their specializations are and go from there. So that's definitely the biggest thing because, they provide valuable insight into the industry. They help you, they help teach you these invaluable things, jargon and know-how and I mean, how to negotiate and I mean, all sorts of very important things for a beginner in voiceover. So I think really the biggest thing there is, improving your acting chops, learning how to negotiate, learning how to manage jobs, manage your time, all that stuff coaches can help with. So all the experiences that I've had whenever I first started, which was only a few months ago, and I've now moved up to booking fairly consistently. So, which I guarantee I have to give credit to coaches for, because if it weren't for the couple of coaches that I've had already, and this aggressive schedule I'm going for with coaching, I wouldn't have been able to book those jobs. And I went from having terrible sounding audio quality, terrible sounding auditions, a horrible mic, horrible conversational reads. I mean, just atrocious, specifically for commercial, to decent sounding auditions, and the audio quality improved substantially. So, I wouldn't even say my auditions are okay. I mean, I have bad days, I have good days and everything, just like any other aspiring voice actor out there. So, but primarily what I've learned is how to get more and more consistent with my delivery. So whereas, before, whenever I first started and I was, my reads were rough, my coach is going through it with me and my reads are just not there, 95% of the time. I might get it once, but then, it takes me 30 takes to get the read right. That's what the coaches work through with you is bringing that authentic and, conversational read out of you. Not just, wanting to talk like this, not like you don't want the sing-songy announcer, radio DJ type advertisement most of the time. Sometimes they're specifically looking for that imprint, and that's fine. But right now, what's primarily bookable is conversational, which is just like what I'm doing with this YouTube video right now, talking to you, the viewer. So, I mean, it's no different than just having a conversation with your buddy or something over some coffee. I mean, it's or a beer. I mean, whatever floats your boat, but it's no different than having a conversation. So, and that's what's cool about it, is really you can just kind of go into the booth and be yourself. You can be your genuine self, and that works out. So, and of course, there are different specs for every audition or every casting call. So, but you obviously have to read through those whenever you look at them. So, I would say number 2, another big thing is networking. And this might tie with number 3, which I would say is marketing yourself, because networking and marketing kind of go hand in hand. those two things, they overlap. They have some major overlap. So in that case, I would say networking, strong second, or marketing yourself. And I'll kind of dive deep into networking. So networking is something you can do to find other people in the industry, whether it be creative people like sound designers or audio engineers for, commercial or film or whatever genre of voice acting you want to get into, anime or video games, finding those people in the creative industry or other voice actors and just networking with them, making friends, making connections. So joining, Discord channels that have that kind of creative focus, or finding a gaming group or something that, have mutual interests, or, joining a Facebook group or, anything like that. Just stay off voice acting Twitter, because that place is a hellhole. I'm joking, but it's definitely, it can be a little bit toxic sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, networking is definitely a very, very important step in starting your career in voiceover. That's absolutely been almost more valuable than coaching to me, just because of the convenience of having friends and acquaintances and contacts in the industry that I can reach out to and ask for help whenever I don't know what to do, because I'm still a beginner. So I'm making a lot of mistakes. And this is, this list I'm giving you is a lot of advice that I've learned in the past 3 months of this journey. And it's advice that is, kind of, commonplace that you hear over and over again. Is these industry topics that people really want to focus on. Anyways, networking, very valuable. You want to do it. You want to network with people as much as you can, because, unfortunately, it is show business. So who does impact your career a little bit. So, and as much as I want to say, you don't have to know anyone. You can just chill by yourself, in a closet and just get paid for it. Sometimes knowing people, it does pay off, and that's the unfortunate case. I know a lot of you probably have social anxiety out there, and I totally get that. I get socially anxious sometimes too. I know it can be pretty severe sometimes, but sometimes you just got to overcome that to pursue a career, unfortunately. So that's just the way that the world is working right now. So, and it may change in the future, but who knows? So for number 3, I would say a really big thing is marketing. And I kind of went over that a second ago. Marketing yourself, learning how to direct market to clients and build a website and all of that stuff is a very valuable tool that you can use as a catalyst to make yourself look more professional. So building a website, I would recommend like Wix or Squarespace, just for starters. Obviously, when you get further on in your career, you can hire a web team and, they can build out a whole, design for you and portfolio and everything that looks super nice, have like an online resume and a payment portal and all sorts of stuff. From the beginning, you don't really need that. You need a basic website, a static template with your name, what you do, short bio, and demos. That's it. That's all you need. Maybe previous projects too, I should mention that. And that's all you need. For the website, you just want it to be straightforward, and you want, if a agency or casting director or whatever wants to locate your previous projects or demos, you want it to be easily accessible. Because, if you were that person, you wouldn't want to click through a bunch of, fancy animations and prompts to get to wherever you want to go. You want it to be as seamless as possible. So that's the way you enable them to do that. And I would say direct marketing to the client. Now, this is one I don't really do a whole lot of, because I don't have a commercial demo yet, and I don't feel entirely confident just sending samples from previous work. However, you can do that. Don't listen to the way I do it on that one, because you totally can send samples. And I know lots of voice actors that are doing that, just sending over previous work direct to clients saying, hey, this is some previous stuff I've done. Are you interested or not? And then you just go from there. So, and then once, if they show their interest, then you have a working, business relationship with them, and it's great, But the direct marketing to client, you can do email, phone, I would say in person, but if you're watching this in August of 2020, it's we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So I would advise to not go in person for something, just trying to cold contact for business. That's probably not the greatest idea. So, however, one thing you can do is, like I said, email, phone. Those are two of the biggest things. And I mean, I get that it can be, anxiety ridden. Calling people on the phone just to solicit your, voice acting business can seem like a daunting task, and I understand that. However, it can totally pay off. Yeah, you might get hung up on. It's totally possible, or you won't. Who knows? Through email, it might be a little bit less anxiety ridden because you can kind of just send it and forget it. So, and then if you get ignored, you don't really, there's no like rejection email, please don't email. They could send that, but it's less likely than the phone for them to tell you to, screw off. So, but that's definitely a really, really big thing is marketing yourself. So, those are kind of the three main topics. There's a lot of stuff that I could go into as a number 4 and number 5, like knowing what you want to do in voice acting. So finding where your passion lies. So if you want to do commercial, or if you want to do animation, or if you want to do video games, or a multitude of all those things combined. If you want to be this, catch-all pro voiceover guy who has, 20 different specialized demos, be that. If that's what you want to do, go for it. You have to have the passion and the ambition for this career, because it is a very, very competitive market. There are tons and tons of talented individuals out there who you're competing against in auditions. And that's the reality of the situation is you want to have the sound that casting director is looking for. That's all you care about, is having that right sound. So, and through coaching and networking and all that, you're developing your skills. You're developing your skills doing auditions, which is good practice. Getting in, jobs and stuff, that's also really good practice. And once you've, slowly tweaked and tailored your sound through authenticity, and I can't talk today, your authenticity and providing a real sound, that in turn will give you a very good read. So, especially in commercial, there's, you still want to be authentic and character type voiceover, but, you have something to fall back on, which is the character. With your own voice, you can't really fall back on anything because that's your own voice. If you're portraying yourself in a bad way, you don't really have any, room to budge. So, anyways, those are I would say the top 3 to 4 things that you should know going into voiceover. Those are things that I've learned over the past few months, working very closely with coaches and other people in the industry that have provided me with this awesome insight into this amazing industry that I'm having a great time in. So anyway, I can't talk today. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and later.